Hi, welcome to our next episode of Mocha Wave Talks. Here at Mocha Wave Publishing, we believe that every girl who reads has her own magic. And I'm really excited today to be with Sarah Wrinkle, who is into photography.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm a mom and a wife, and I take aspects of that and incorporate it into my photography. I do a lot of portraiture, also families and high school seniors. But I think the best part about getting to photograph anything is getting to photograph my children. They've really helped me figure out how to work with everyone, a very wide range of clients, because they give me a wide range of reactions and emotions. And yeah.
So what made you want to go into photography?
Whenever my daughter was born, I was spending a lot of money on photography. We did a newborn session and a Christmas session and a just because session. And my husband said, I think that we would be better off just getting you a camera and having you learn to photograph the kid. So I started. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided I could do this for other people.
What are some of the challenges and what are some of the things that you hope to accomplish with photography? And if you take that one piece at a time or...
Okay. What I always want to accomplish, as morbid as this may sound, I would like for my individual portraits to be what people want beside their obituary or at their funeral. I have been very honored to have my portraits beside people's caskets at their memorials. And it was actually going through grief therapy that helped me learn how to incorporate that aspect of life into photography. You know, sometimes being the last person to have taken a professional picture of that person. But as far as like capturing a snapshot, a lot of times I will throw out prompts for people, whether it's individuals or families. And I try to explain to everyone that I'm not recording anyone. So as silly and ridiculous as you feel that you look, I'm only taking those split seconds. And maybe you make a really funny face during one of them. Maybe you look less flattering in some. No one will ever see them ever again. I'll delete them. But I think that's one part that gets people to trust me. I will then also look as ridiculous because I like to act out the prompts. But yeah, it all aspects of it appealed to me, from posing newborns and watching how their parents react to their baby being posed for professional pictures, all the way to extended family sessions and knowing that the grandpa who has his grandkid on their lap, that's going to be really special for them when they grow up and grandpa isn't there anymore. So yeah,
that is really amazing. And so I know we've talked a little bit about your interest in psychology and in other aspects. I think you talked about forensics a little bit. So do you see photography as a way that you can incorporate that with your other interests like psychology or therapy or counseling?
I hope to. I am currently enrolled at Coastal Bend College in Beeville. I am working slowly towards a degree in psychology, and I would eventually like to become family or individual counselor. I want to be able to take a client with a film camera, and the initial session would just be maybe them taking portraits of themselves. For couples, it would be each other. For family situations, I would have to figure out how to work that. But having someone either go out and take pictures of, let's say, wherever they suffered childhood trauma, or their home, their current home. I want people to have that control over the camera, and I want it to be film because you can't automatically see it. And I think that combining counseling with film photography and then the place where the pictures are taken, I think that that can relieve people of so much grief and guilt and shame, and show them that in some cases they're only pictures and it can't affect them anymore. While also maybe being able to peel back layers from whenever they were younger, and yeah, just really have a wide range of emotions tied to the experience.
That is so creative. I love it because I think this is the time, this era is a time of finding niche. I'm gonna say the word right, niches. You take your passion and then you do something with it that maybe someone else hasn't thought about.
Yeah.
And it's still you're meeting a very, very real need. There are people, I mean, they talk about journaling with therapy, and that's being be able to kind of bare your soul or talk to somebody the way you wish you could talk to them, and then maybe even burning it afterwards, because or ripping it up and just saying that doesn't affect me anymore. That's gone. Now I got those emotions out. So I think photography sounds like it could be used in a very similar way, very therapeutic, cathartic experience.
I think so.
And I think just from my own thoughts is that people, they're very vulnerable about their own identity and about how they look or how they're perceived or how they think about themselves.
Very much so.
And so I think that would be a really good way of saying, like having them look at themselves in a new way.
Yes, yes. I especially like the idea of a couple maybe thinking of separation, guiding them through photographing each other, and then showing them what the other one captured, and not even necessarily needing to put words to it, just to be able to show them how their partner views them truly. I think that that would be beneficial.
Yeah, yes, I can definitely see that. Them seeing, well, they're going to have to take a time to actually look and pay attention to that other person.
Yes.
Which is a very good first step in that healing.
Yes.
So yes, I love that idea. You were so insightful. I'm so impressed. And I know one of the things that you've impacted us is my sister, of course, was writing. She goes by under the name of Tirsa Darnell as an author, and you were the one who did her professional author photograph.
I did.
So can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, I was so excited that she chose me. I was so honored. I think that it's so, I don't even have a word for it, for someone that I know to have published a novel. I think that that's amazing. Y'all are so amazing. But it was I didn't have a lot of trouble figuring out how I was going to photograph her. I knew I wanted it to be in a studio setting. I knew that I wanted to use backdrops so that everything looked very clean. There was the obvious backdrop of books on a shelf. So
That was a backdrop? I thought
well,
that
no. That was
There's a real-
my shelves
you have a real
in my
shelf?
living
Okay,
room.
okay.
And I took all the books that I own and I shoved them all together and put them behind this one section.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, I knew that I wanted that to be one of the backdrops. But then I also really like to use Savage seamless rolls of paper. It is a backdrop company. I like the colorful. I like being able to take a person's skin tone or their hair color or their eye color in her case. Like I really wanted her eyes to pop.
She has really
Yes.
beautiful eyes.
And I knew if I could get her on maybe a purple or dark green background, that I could really capture that gaze, that fierce yet soft, inviting kind of look. And she nailed every single portrait. I mean,
those pictures are beautiful.
Thank you. She
They are
was
gorgeous.
awesome.
And I think it's very important, you know, when you think about authors and they're making themselves vulnerable, right? By putting themselves out there, because a lot of it is you have to do self-promotion, just like, you know, you had to do with your photography business. And that can be very hard, especially when you're more of an introverted sort of person.
Yes.
And so, you know, just having that photograph that makes you look at yourself and say, okay, I can do this.
Yeah. She nailed that serious gaze, that novelist, I'm about to put out a trilogy kind of look.
I think she has a lot more like intensity than she realizes.
I think so too. Yeah.
So that is, and then we have that picture on the banner.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Because I know you attended the book signing.
I did. So, that was really fun because I'm getting to see not only her in this really accomplished event, you know, where she's promoting a book that she wrote, but then also getting to meet her support people, essentially, you know, getting to meet the people that have been there for her, whether it's family or friends or, you know, former professors or fellow writers. And I like to see other people's people, because I feel like that's a huge reflection of who they are.
So there's a lot more to photography than when you're talking about all of this. There's so many other aspects than just the person standing there with the camera.
Oh, absolutely.
That is so amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to see what you're going to do with all the good gifts that you have.
Thank you.